is that he might have a meltdown.
He might sting.
He might stim. And if he,
Yeah.
viewers, if you go and you watch, or when you watch, or we hope many of you watched his duet performance or his solo performance, he was stimming. He was
Online, on stage.
Yeah, on stage. Well, that's who he is. That's how he performs, right? And we've tried many attempts.
Thank you, Sunshine.
You are the sunshine of my life. To change him, but and you know what? He has to be ready to be changed, right? And it has to be on his terms.
Well, it is going to be hard work. I'm not going to tell you that. Well, we are going on a better. I guess we're traveling as a society. I would say here in North America, at least, and in a better way, in a better. We're changing a bit to acceptance, right? But we still have a long way to go, right? Oh, okay. She's saying move a bit. She's saying move a bit so that we can all see. She's right. We're yeah. Thank you, Adam. Can you see us now? Perfect. Yeah, we're not that good. Like, so what I'm saying is, there's a lot of fight. As a parent, you're still gonna fight to keep your kids in a music program or in a swimming program, whether in activities, right? You're gonna say, oh, yeah, I want my child to be there. But even the program, even people we think that they should know better. Teachers, special need teachers, and schools, they might not accept your kids, right? It's basically. It's up to you, right, to fight. And
I just want to say I've learned as well, because if you'll notice, and I take full responsibility of this, and it's all a learning curve, and I'm learning as Stevie's father. But I remember the last show, and Yalem had encouraged me, it's not her fault, but she encouraged me to sit beside Stevie during his live DJ show. And I was actually hitting his hand because I didn't want him to be flapping. I didn't, but it's not about me, no, right? No. And as I said, and I thought, I helped him set up the playlist, and I wanted all the transition to go well in that. And if he makes mistakes, it's got to be his mistakes, not my mistakes.
We all do it.
And that. So anyway, out of that, I've learned, I helped Stevie set up his playlist, but I'm no longer on the screen anymore. It's his show.
To me, acceptance is really accepting them with everything, right? Having them as a friend, right? Building friendship with them. Invite them to your friend's birthday party, or going out. Really, that's what acceptance is. Becoming your coworkers, right? Whether they're stimming or they're flapping, they're making noise, they all do it because to calm themselves down. Please don't stop them from stimming, because that's who they are. They need to do that. I was arguing actually for one of the TikTok one time about that, because especially in our community, in Ethiopian community, there's that stigma attached to it, right? People don't want to be seeing their child making noise when they go to church or whatever, right? Or they're making flapping, hand, all those things. It's not about us. It's about our children, right?
Yeah. But I mean, and then on the other, you can argue, of course, if a child is having a meltdown, or if Stevie were in a church, a synagogue, a mosque, a temple, or whatever, we will take him out. And we've had disagreements with educators who have called and said,
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Who has said, can you come and pick Stevie up? So we've gone to come and pick him up, and we go in there to realize, well, of course he's had a meltdown. Yeah, look how loud it is, right?
Yeah.
So what we suggest is take him outside, and go for a walk.
Yeah, as a parent,
get him out of the situation.
Definitely, you're gonna go through that, right? But you want our children to navigate this world, because this world is not set up for them. So what kind of mechanism, what's the kind of support we can do for them to be comfortable? That's you don't want to change them, because right now I see all these biomedical, stem cell. Really, you are trying to change who they are, right? It's not even proven this stem cell, to be honest with you. It's, but this is a lot of autism advocates. They disagree with that because they're not sick. It's not a disease. It's a basically naturally the brain works differently from me and you. So how can we help them? Because this world is not created for them. How do we help them to navigate this world? That's the key, right? So that's what autism acceptance is. Don't change them who they are, right? By through stem cells, through like to make them feel better. To change. That's basically what it is.
Well, it was years ago. It was shock treatment. I mean, that was early on in the early 1900s, and that where you'd almost literally electrocute people,
Mhm.
many of whom who are autistic, and let's jolt their brain, and they become vegetables, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But we help them through to help them navigate. What I'm saying is, let's, for example, communication deficit or kids with nonverbal, or even our kids. We have we call them, they have language, but they have deficit in terms of expressive and receptive language. So how do we help them, right? There's so many ways through. Let's say they want if they're now sound sensitive, we can do um, noise cancellation,
Noise
so that
cancellation.
they can go out and really.
Well, it was interesting because
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Like Stevie had a keychain, and
When he was younger,
when
yeah.
he was younger, and he used to chew on it because it was the sensory, right? So
Mhm.
we didn't want him to, have this, what do they call it, chewing device, and it fall on the ground, and he gets all the germs and get dirt in that. So it would be on a keychain, and it would go inside his pocket. And
Yeah.
interestingly enough, it would be concealed, so a lot of people wouldn't even know about it.
Hello, Bolly. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just talking about, again, for those people who just joined us, what is it, autism awareness versus acceptance? To me, awareness is like, I'm aware of you, yes, but I'm not doing anything. Yes, I see you, yes, right? I'm not including you in my workplace. I'm not giving you opportunities, yes. I'm not also including you in birthday parties. Well, I was just reading actually on another autism support group, the Toronto Autism Support Group. I'm also a member there. And one mom, this is a good example, acceptance versus awareness, right? So her own niece's nephew, they didn't invite her son to a birthday party because they felt like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. They felt like he makes noise and they couldn't handle all the the sensory issue that comes with it. But they exclude him from a birthday party. So she actually shared with the group and whether she should go, even though she's not invited, because that's actually her cousins, they're the child cousins, right? So it's kind of like that, right? Despite everything, which like the acceptance is really bringing them to society, right? To me, acceptance means just exactly what happened the other day for Stevie when he performed a duet with a student from university, second years, or she's studying to be a doctor. Also, she sings as well, and she knows Stevie very well. But they sang duet, and nobody cares about whether Stevie's flipped or not. Really, at that moment, it was about the performance.
Well, she made his flipping into as they were standing on unison, because he started doing this, and then she didn't echo him movement by
Exactly.
movement, but you could tell like in sync. It was
I'm telling you,
beautiful.
it's one of the best things I ever seen. Like it really tears came to my eyes when I saw her doing exactly when he was moving his hand. Of
So
course,
she was
Stevie.
modifying her movements
Yeah.
in out of in a respectful manner. There was no mark. It
No,
was
it's
total
just
inclusion.
and total inclusion, and people were so they both got a standing ovation for that performance. It was just nobody cares how he's whether he's flipping. So I hear this most of the time, parents on TikTok talking about their kids Um, I can't tell you very good. Are you a doctor? I wish that I'm not, but I am really. I wish I'm a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. But I am, you know, sacrifice. Well, I'm not going to sacrifice, call it sacrifice, but I really try to educate myself. I try to to understand Stevie better.
Yalem is a passionate mother, so that's the best way to describe her.
Thanks.
Passionate wife. Yeah, but and I mean, I'm a coach. I coach cross country and track and field, and what better way, right? To include. I mean, they don't have to be Kenanisa, or they don't have to be Gide, or yeah, I mean, the top Ethiopian or international athletes in that. But inclusion is because it's like any child, an autistic, non-autistic, is that unless you give them the opportunity, how do they know that they're succeeding, or how do they know what they're good at or what they like?
Yeah, thank you. Well, it really, you have, I always talk about that. Really, I try to understand them, right? It's really like, because that's the only way you know what they like, what they're good at, right? What they're passionate about, whether they're nonverbal or verbal, right? Well, Carly Fleshman. What is her last name?
Fleischer.
Fleischer. She's a nonverbal young girl on the autism. Well, she's an autistic, right?
She's a woman.
A woman now. So she is nonverbal with a severe sensory issue. But people assume that she doesn't know anything because she's not speaking, and she's nonverbal. She communicates through devices, right? So for a long time, she's been on therapy. But one day, like I always talk about her, like she's my hero. She wrote on her device, "Please stop making noise. I can hear you." That's what she said. I have toothache or something. She was in pain. That's why I'm making noise. She said, I have pain. That's why I'm making noise. She wrote that. That girl is brilliant, right? Even though she have no language in a way, but she can communicate, right? So she find a way to communicate and bring her ideas.
Well, all you have to do is look back to the story of Helen Keller, right? Yep. I mean, that opened up many people's eyes into the communication. It's not always verbal, right? And then we saw that working with now a young man named Oliver in Ethiopia when we had our social skills group, our team building group.
Yeah.
And that, I put it upon myself because his parents said, because I'm leading the team building, why don't you learn sign language, right? And so I can't say I mastered any, but every little bit helps. If you don't know a language and you go into...
His mom did, though. His mom.
Yeah. Well, yeah, his mom did. But, I mean, that's why when you're traveling and you're living in a place and you know the mother tongue of the people that you're visiting or living in, that it just makes it that much more accepting.
Does Stevie like the outdoor or no? What do you say?
Okay, well, I mean, quick story. We drove towards outside of, because we lived in Addis Ababa. So
for a while, yeah.
So we drove to this place called Debre Berhan. And as we got by Debre Berhan, we went to another place called Ankle Bar. So we were having breakfast. Now, I'm a runner. I've run a couple of marathons and all the rest. Yalem's a runner. Stevie's a runner. Well,
I'm not a runner.
She's a walker.
I'm a walker.
Anyway, okay, so let's stay there. So Sinite had said, the woman at the lodge, Ankle Bar Lodge, said, do you want the short or the long? Well, anyway, viewers, I'm glad you're sitting down, or maybe some of you are standing. It was 2 hours out from the lodge, and then we did a U-turn. There's no...
How old was he?
Yeah, 9. And I don't know.
No, he was 9.
9 years of age. And yeah, so to answer, it's a long answer, but yeah, he likes the outdoors. And now we're running a 10K
Thank you. Thank you. Bless you.
we're running a 10K charity race, Run for Hope, on April 16th. So
He's a runner.
he loves the outdoors.
He runs. So now he's really uh, he runs so many 5Ks and 10Ks.
Well, he's
so
10K, and I mean,
Yeah.
Yolanda was just mentioning over the long weekend here is that, you know, I mean, who's to say that he won't be running a half marathon?
there are some there's amazing stories that I'm hearing, parents, father and son. That's how, that's why I say study your kids and find out what it really they're good at. So this particular that I'm sharing all these amazing mom and dad story because it's Stevie, what the age did he start talking? He wasn't talking up to 4, right? He wasn't talking, to be honest with you, he was saying words, but a lot of ekalela. I don't know if you know ekalela. It's like repeating what other people are saying all day long, right?
Some phrases or
Phrases
terminology.
or movies other people watch. Well, when he watches like a kids show, he repeat that all the time. Or whatever he hear from us, he used to repeat. So I used to stop him, but the therapist told me that it's actually ekalela has a purpose. He's trying to understand what other people are saying around, trying to navigate the world around him. So through ekalela, but the school, you remember, he's making noise because he's repeating. When he was in KG, teachers have difficulty with that. Like he's saying that he's repeating. But the speech therapists say the ekalela has a purpose. It's actually help him to understand the words, because our kids have a processing delay in terms of gathering their thoughts. So they will repeat things so they can understand it. So it's, in a way, don't let them, I would say, don't stop them from doing that, because ekalela is a way of, for them, it's navigating.
Well, I think it's like anything. What we worked with the teacher is to gain strategies, because, in the real world, you don't want to disrupt others people's learning, right? I mean, there's no way, and we never promoted it's all about Stevie in that, because he was in a class of 20 some odd kindergartners, and that is that to have him speak quieter. Noise cancellation, that helped, right? So he didn't have to speak. So
it doesn't even have to be the best. When Home Depot, Stevie used to wear those up to a certain age. Like Home Depot, they have that construction thing.
Yeah,
he used to wear
the
those.
Yellow, almost like earmuffs, and then it has the black.
We use like somebody asked, what did you use? We use like noise cancellation. Okay, when he was younger, we used to do a lot of things. Okay, we used to massage. I used to give him massage all the time.
Deep pressure.
Deep pressure, massage. Definitely, Stevie, even now, he does meditation by himself. He was that good. Like, he used to it. Well, meditates by himself.
Yeah, and we bought a lot of, and thankfully music was and still is, Stevie's passion, but, opera and classical music and that, and he would go to bed. I mean, we still have, there's a CD called the Dream CD, and that where, I mean, I was using that through my university studies, and that it's just a concept.
I was in classical a lot in Ethiopia.
You listen to classical.
We were living there.
Hey, and when we were driving through the streets of Addis Ababa, we were listening to a lot of classical music.
Well, he basically, somebody, have you ever been around with people as him does? He makes him feel good anyway. He is amazingly, okay. He have some challenges, but that's one thing he's comfortable with that, right? He's like,
you mean other people who have other autistic
people? He has friends, right?
He is, but I mean, it's interesting because we've been to his Friday night program and that, and people who are non-autistic, it's like they're giving a press conference, right? Because they all gather around, everyone.
That's what
yeah, and it's cute. And our relatives in that, they like to answer Stevie's questions, but it can be a little annoying when you have him 24/7. We love him dearly.
And also,
but Bolly was asking, where did he get his music passion? He was, when he was 3 years old, this music was for him, like his whole life, right? So when at the age of 3, I remember clearly we had like one of those CD player. We're having dinner and we just he doesn't even see the CD player. It's across the room, the other side. So Derek, he got up and tried to change the song. He skipped a couple of songs, and he said, "Put it back to whatever song." And
No, it's Al Green, the Reverend Al Green. He says, "Don't turn off Al Green." And then the other one was a CD. I don't know if it was maybe Simon and Garfunkel's Greatest Hits or whatever, but he had memorized all of the numbers. It was an African CD, so he might not have known the titles, but if we had forwarded to number 7, boom, 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 to 7, he would say that's number 7.
Yeah, without looking.
Without looking, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
He memorized the entire CDs. So music was a part of his. That's why I say like the
photographic memory.
I was just gonna share that story with a father and a son here in Canada. The boy is a high function, but very extremely hyper, right? He has a lot of energy, right? Stevie's the opposite. He's low energy sometimes.
Yeah, and that did help him with his communication. And this is the thing that parents have to be careful, because as a teacher, I mean,
thank you.
And I've worked, there's an autism class in my school, and some of the students there who have autism and they have all these sensory needs, and they're playing violent video games, or they're listening to inappropriate video shows. And we have to monitor in that, because we don't want him to communicate that way, right? I mean,
but we taught him early age, like this is one of the things that missed, because when we have kids on, especially our kids, we try to we try to be, let's say respect, what is it, like rules and regulation, how it's like setting the table, right? We have to teach that, being polite, and we always like lenient towards that. No, we're not. We are usually very table manner, to please and thank you, nothing takeaway stuff. He's not completing the task, does everything like just like any other kids. We do that, right? Just because he has autism, he's not getting away with stuff.
And that goes through his communication, because he's spoken inappropriately, and it's like any child in that you have to respect your elders, respect others, do unto others, the golden rule, as you would want.
We rehearse it also. Let's say if he says something inappropriate in a social setting, we definitely the next day we make it, we discuss it, and so what do you think wrong? How do you can make it better, right? We empower him, right? So we're not gonna embarrass him in front of people, but definitely we'll try to discuss it.
And he should have a voice, and what he says,
right?
And what he does. Finding the passion of your offspring, your child, and foster it.
Yeah, this, like I said, this father, he's a runner who started running with his son, because his son was extremely hyper, right? And a lot of energy.
Right.
So he said, okay, let me try running with him. He became like that like amazing runner. Now the two of them run so many marathons in Canada. So they run everywhere, right? They in Ottawa, and so Stevie and Derek, they run too. I mean, Stevie runs some many 10Ks and 5Ks. What I'm saying is like really find out exactly what the kids like what are they passionate about. But this happens by exposing them, right? Different things. Just you never know what they're good at, right? So like Carly Fleischman, I told you, she's nonverbal, but her parents exposed her different things, so many different things. They find a device for her to communicate. Through that, she wrote 2 books, nonverbal, right? Imagine. She's unbelievable. She has her own talk show, but she communicates through this device, right? So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Bole. I appreciate your kind words, but I mean, not to sound cliche or melodramatic in that, but children are like flowers, and unless you
Mm.
care for them and love them and support them in that, they will not, they won't grow.
Yeah, so we as a society, at least, we have a lot to learn from our kids. I mean, Stevie teach me every day, and some things like, right? I mean, it's shocking what he knows sometimes, right? Uh,
Well,
yeah,
definitely, if we get lost, and this is even in Addis Ababa, if we make a wrong turn, he would say, well, where are you going? Now, things have changed so much in Addis. It didn't happen when we went back in December or January of this year, but definitely here in Canada, because, he is a person of routine,
yeah,
right?
Also,
But
the airport has changed.
the airport at Bole and
ICS.
mm,
ICS, right? Props to ICS, International Community School of Addis Ababa.
yeah, and so also teaching them to be kind to other kids, right?
Yeah.
Less. So Stevie is very comfortable with his friends who are like he have friends like some of them are nonverbal, right? But it's amazing how he communicates with them. Like a teacher was telling me that most of them are comfortable with Stevie, but you know he have his own character. It's like he's very you know not
Yeah.
aggressive in a
But
way.
again, it's exposure because, like his
Yeah.
show at the Transact Club, it was with his good friend Nina. But Nina now has introduced him to a world of other young adults who also might have opportunities for him to perform or public speak. It's not. I mean, music plays a big part, but we've often thought of, and he's read some quotes, poetry. It's thinking outside the box and being open-minded, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exposing them different
right,
things.
like this is the DeeJay Stevie train. We're just passengers on the train. He's the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
He's the pilot. I'm his co-pilot. And often now, I've learned is to when we have our shows, like we have a script that we do follow in that, but to let him take a lead in that, let him be himself.
Yeah. Usually when he goes into live, he's by himself most of. Okay, majority of the song, he knows he's the one who chooses them. Really, like I have nothing to do with it, to be honest. Or
Well,
they're very rare. I don't know anything about
Yalem
the
is
song.
good at navigating who's out there,
Yes.
right? So all of a sudden it could be rock and roll, and then she'll see, and this is smart, go Bis. Abasha's out there, so
I'll read the screen for him.
Teddy and Gigi and other people.
Well, it's very hard for him to read the screen now, like looking at the screen.
Well, the
multitasking. So that part, he's learning. He looking at the screen now. I'm looking at what you're writing, but for him, it's a bit difficult. So I'll help him. Okay, so and so is right. Say hi to you, right, or something like that. But like the songs, like it's unbelievable. Some of the songs, like from you said one day you interview him from the 50s all the way to. Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we knew he had this gift during what our so-called COVID walks, when to keep him focused, because he does get, like I say, don't be such a, and then I'll pause and he said an idiot, or he'll want us to finish the sentence. So we did the alphabet with musical groups: A, ABBA; B, Boston; C, Creedence Clearwater Revival; D, Dire Straits, and so on, all the way to ZZ Top, right? So then I think it was Yalem. She said, well, what about years? Because he's very good in terms of his memory of where we are. April 2nd, 2011, when we were in Ethiopia.
Everything he remembers.
Yeah. So we said, okay, well, he likes the 60s and 70s music. So he went all the way back to 1950. And Stevie, who was the artist in 1950? Frankie Lane? I believe. And then he went to 1951.
Unforgettable Nat King Cole.
Unforgettable Nat King Cole, 1952.
Dinah Washington, Mad About the Boy.
Diana Washington mad about the boy. So if you get a chance, check out that video.
Oh, it's on TikTok.
Yeah, but if you think of it, viewers, 1950 all the way up to, I guess it was 2021 or 2022 when we did the video. So
During 2020, during COVID.
yeah, COVID walk.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, if I was talking to a mom the other day on the phone. She was asking me a couple of questions. One of the things she was mentioning is, Bole, he can sing that song.
Well,
What is
he
it?
used to sing, what is it, Teddy Afro. He used to when we lived there.
When we
Menelik
I think
Tocorso.
he's trying to catch up now. Like I don't. Yeah. So one of the a mom, an Ethiopian mom, I was talking to the other day on the phone.
Oh, he can sing. Okay, hold on a sec. Sorry to interrupt. Right. What about the one that you think the corso di
Minilik?
No. You know the one head.
Rastakashat.
Yeah, yeah.
The baby song.
He can sing that one. What's the song again?
Rastakashat. The Gulbetat.
Gulbetat.
Yeah.
Gulbetat.
When he was a baby.
When he was a baby.
Yeah.
Mono uniconjo.
So one of the things she was concerned about was communication devices, where the area where she lives in the state, they offer her the communication device and she's worried about, her son is only 4. So I said to her, get any support you can, right? Because you want them to get, you want them to be able to communicate by any means necessary, right? It's going to help him to develop whether he's going to develop language or not. Later on, we'll see, right? Some kids will never develop a language, but you never know. But this communication device, so my advice, I'm one of those people, I'll try to get any support I can get from the government, right? I will check. When he was younger, you have no idea. I'll call the government. I look at what funding that they're going to offer. Please do not say no to any support they're giving you, because they usually don't. They try to take away from you.
Even when DeeJay Stevie got a strike, Yolem didn't sit down on that, right? Yeah.
No,
you're such a strong advocate.
We have to be for our kids, So don't say no to the support they're giving you anywhere, U.S., Canada, Europe, because the government usually they try to take it away. That funding, that support. If they do provide you support, please give it.
What I would suggest is, because I know there's language barriers and that, it's find someone, right? Maybe you have a child or children who have friends or they know families that can help you with the forms and that, but don't give up. Right?
Oh my
because
God,
that's you know what, there's a lot of people and they want you to give up.
That's exactly what they
right.
want you. If they provide you, let's say the biggest one thing that I remember humans, the biggest. Thank you. We gotta bully. You have to be, because if we don't advocate, okay. So we're talking about autism acceptance, and that's one of the things I wanted to mention. Is really we as a parent have to accept our kids before other people accept our kids, right? That one of the things we're saying is accept them who they are. Well,
yeah, and educators, teachers are very important, but they're the most important person, or is your family and the family values in that.
Yeah.
And often, a troubled students that I've had over the years, it's absentee parents, absentee mom, right? Absentee father. Circumstances happen. Don't get me wrong in that, but we're put on this earth to help one another. Most notably, there's nothing, blood is thicker than water, and there's truth to that statement.
Yeah, definitely accept them, because I think at one of the shows I again mentioned it, like we were talking about stimming, and we were arguing, and it's on TikTok, and some of them that they want them to stop stimming, and I say, wow, I was like, couldn't believe it. Why you want them to stop stimming? That's food. The stimming helps them to relax, right? Without that, they're going to be aggressive, I'm telling you, because if you don't let them stimming could be flipping or moving back and forth, or you're taking away who they are, right? Really, when you try to stop them, who are you stopping for? When he was a child, I tried to do that. And one of the therapists told me, she said to me, who are you doing it for? It's for yourself or for him? And I said, yeah, she opened my eyes, and I'm doing it for myself, really, because I don't want people to see him flipping, right? Or moving back and forth. So she said it has a purpose for him to flip that. So it relaxes him. I could see with Stevie when if he's not flipping, he's not moving, he gets hyper. You don't know when that meltdown is going to happen. It's going to happen somewhere else if you don't let him be himself, right? It could be somewhere else when you're not expecting it. He might be calm at the church or at somewhere, but later on, he's going to do it. What it means is like you're preventing him from relaxing. Usually they use it to calm themselves down, right? To when they find it a stressful situation. Yes. Okay. You understand when they're doing, sometimes you want them to focus. You can actually replace it with something something else. You can negotiate
the hardest thing that we encounter, that's an excellent question in terms of advocating for Stevie, is the perception of others out there that don't want to open that door to give him the opportunity.
That's it.
And they see him as through deficit lens,
empathy.
Empathy. Yeah, and he doesn't need a sympathy or
sympathy.
Sympathy and that. And interestingly enough, he does speak English, so you don't have to speak to him slowly. It's like the immigrant experience, right? When Yolem came to Canada and she said, people were speaking to her slowly.
Or change your name.
Change your name and that. So, it's the hardest part is that seeing him, and that was another beautiful, beautiful thing that we noticed Thursday night at the nightclub.
And neuropathic, you really have to.
The neuropathic
medical
school in Toronto that hosted it, and Life Lessons was that Stevie was was spoken to amongst his the people there as an equal. Like, they're and
as an equal. They didn't even mention like any of the talent he was there previously. I mean, we're going in the right direction. We have a long way to go, but really here in Canada, I've seen some changes for a better. But like I said, still we still have a long way to go. But like we as a parent who have to advocate. So one way to advocate is letting our kids be who they are, right? If they basically, let's say if they're flipping, they're stimming, let them stim. That's who they are, right? Do not stop them from doing it.
Yeah, and if they can find other coping mechanisms that are healthy and appropriate to help, deal with their sensory issues. And Yolem had mentioned the running, like exercise.
Running is another
exercise, walking, and you know what? It's a win-win situation because, especially if you can do it in a family, in a familial way, because then you're bonding, father, son, daughter, or Stevie goes walking a lot with Yolem.
Thank you, Love Emotion. Really appreciate that. It helps also. We have only one child. I think, I can understand kids, parents who have 2-3 kids.
Well, I mean that also could have be a benefit, whereas it would lessen the load on us to a certain degree.
So I always say like autism acceptance, right? It came from the autistic individuals who are advocating for themselves.
I don't know if you want to talk about the symbol, right? The puzzle piece now has changed to the infinity symbol.
So it used to be a puzzle piece, like where pieces a puzzle. That's like what does it say?
Something that
incomplete. Like we have a problem to be solved. That's what that puzzle is. So that puzzle is gone because really they're not something to be solved. They're basically um, uh, their brain is different from me and you, and this world is not created for them. But they're not to be solved. They don't need us to solve them, right? We help them. We should help them to navigate this world. That's basically right.
Yeah, and we just discovered that I guess it was 2007. Paula Durbin Westby shifted the
Exactly. That
narrative
emotion.
from
Yeah.
awareness to acceptance.
Okay. Do we need expectancy or equal treatment? What?
I'm not well. Equal treatment depends upon the context, really.
Well, it depends on the individual. And that's what if you're saying talking about the spectrum itself, right? It's huge. That's what they call it spectrum. The spectrum can be from one side to another, right? They're totally different. Each child or youth or whatever, they're totally their need is totally different. So let's say sometimes I see the support also different. Even ABA, the ABA therapy itself, it has purpose. It's good in a certain way, but there are a lot of individuals with autism or autistic individuals certain way, but there are a lot of individuals with autism or autistic individuals do against that because sometimes ABA also force people to change, force them to change who they are really, right? There's a lot of things that ABA they argue about. That's another day. Yeah.
Yeah, as it was said by
We just need to accept people.
Love in Motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, to empowerment, right?
Empowerment.
To make them to make them better.
The problem comes in when we try to change them through let's for example, there's a lot people. Okay, one thing we both experience raising Stevie. He's 21, he's turning 22 soon, is everybody try to sell you something when you have when you're a parent with a child,
or try to they have their own way of diagnosis.
Trust me, there's a lot of scammers. As a parent, you really need to watch that. Either they sell you like this will work, a great diet, or a therapy, right? At one time we paid I don't even want to talk about it, but there's a lot of, we got scammed ourselves for, we thought in our program that can be benefited to Stevie. But there are a lot of scammers. So I'm telling you, some will say that this is a great diet program, right? For your child.
Hold on to your money and do your homework.
Do your homework.
And if you're being pushed into make a down payment for an exorbitant amount of money, like Oprah Winfrey had said, there are these whispers, the inner voice. Talk to other people and let them know. Don't do it alone. Often, when it's bring another set of eyes, a trusted individual. Yeah. Seeing is believing. So, the school situation, especially the international school situation, it's about this. It's about money, right?
It's about money.
It's about money. And,
but the other thing that people are asking me all the time on TikTok, like what food, right? I say to myself, like, even I ask a doctor and they say, is he gluten-free diet? I said, they say to me, is he gluten sensitive? I say, no, he's not. So why are you putting him gluten? Like, so I always, we both raise Stevie, healthy diet, right? Healthy diet means like really, don't give him like crappy food. You don't want to eat crappy food. Don't give him crappy food.
Well, that was the great thing about going to Ethiopia was there was no McDonald's.
Yeah.
And Coca-Cola really has never, it's never been in this diet.
Any
right?
good resources center Canada you recommend for young doctor to never diagnose? Carrie's Place, right? And then
and then what's the Geneva Center?
There's a couple of places. Geneva Center for Autism, they're fantastic. Stevie did get some support from Carrie's Place, and there's another place called Surrey's Place, Surray. You might want to check them.
And then Yulem, she took some courses through the Geneva Center.
Geneva Center is amazing.
And there's some free webinars there.
Oh, the Geneva Center has a lot of resources, a lot of parent support also. So you might want to check that out. and they have good programs. They have summer camps. So they have.
Now, when you
different
say
programs.
Canada, I mean, we don't even know of the other provinces, but
But we're in Ontario, so
yeah. So Alberta, I hear.
Alberta is amazing for support, like way better than Canada.
Way better than Canada. Alberta's in
no,
Canada.
I meant Toronto. Sorry. Way better than you're in Manitoba.
Manitoba. Ooh.
So I say Alberta, right?
Very cold. Winter
So
peg.
Stevie's got push with his passion. Yeah, Stevie is all his. You know what? We put him. Okay, let me tell you how we started. He's always musical, right? He likes music. He likes to sing. He knows a lot about musicians since I was a kid. But how did he start singing?
Good question. Oh, well, I mean, piano. He was taking piano lessons, and his piano teacher suggested that he get vocal coaching.
Yeah.
Or so then he did with a female who's now still teaching him piano. And then she said, well, he really needs a male vocal teacher. So, boom, male vocal teacher comes. He really prospered. And it was magical because that magical night recently, last Thursday night at the Transact Club, we met his musical teacher in person.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's great. And
I think you have to find the right teacher that works well with autistic kids, right? Because not everybody's comfortable. Well,
we were just talking about his vocal teacher, and I mean, I don't know. We probably know. We don't want to make an assumption that his teacher didn't have any association or connection with people or autistic people or whatever, but he has learned
he's
their relation. He's very open-minded.
I think it has to be.
So yeah, and because we Stevie had a teacher. We looked at this person's resume, and this teacher had said, "Oh, I had all this and this down." Sometimes it's just a caring individual, if there is respite, who has an open mind in that. But I think what we're gonna
Dad are gonna take him to a nightclub.
I'm sorry.
Are you gonna take him to a nightclub? He's been into his own dance group, like
nightclub.
Not nightclub, but
well, I mean, he doesn't drink alcohol. He's very clean, and we're happy with that. We have been talking for an hour. As I would say to my students, put your hand up if you would like Stevie to sing one more song. Okay, we see lots of songs in that. So Stevie, what song are you going to sing to end our evening?
Take It Easy.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Take It Easy or another.
Or why don't the James Taylor one that you're going
Something
to?
the way she moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So,
well, the lyrics. So
viewers, DeeJay Stevie is gonna be singing this song at a spring recital. It's by James Taylor. What was the date of release of this song?
1968.
Was it a 68?
All right.
Yeah.
Really?
What were you doing in 1968?
I was all of 5 years old. I was.
He's gonna sing a song for you guys.
You were what?
5 years old.
19 what? You were all 5 years.
Yeah, that was 1968. What song came out in 1968?
Hey Jude.
All right.
No, he doesn't need. He just needs the song because the people are blocking the people.
Okay.
Just play this. All right.
Okay.
Give us. Hi guys, here on YouTube. Thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok as well.
Okay.
So hold on. Let's see.
We're just gonna.
We are celebrating autism acceptance with music and dialogue.
So we started off with Stevie singing. What did he sing?
Stand by Me.
Stand by Me.
Oh,
so we'll
okay, this thing's happening on Stevie's. Okay, sorry, I don't know what happened.
Okay. All right. So
here we go.
All
right. Oh, sorry, Steve. You ready? Okay, so I'm gonna just move. Okay. Because people are talking. No. knows the lyrics.
I wanna see it.
Something
Something in the way she moves, or looks my way, or calls my name. That seems to leave this troubled world behind. And if I'm feeling down and blue, or troubled by some foolish game, she always seems to make me change my mind. And I feel fine anytime she's around me now. She's around me now. Almost all the time. And if I'm well, you can tell she's been with me now. She's been with me now. Quite a long, long time, and I feel fine. Every now and then the things I lean on lose their meaning, and I find myself grinning in places where I should not let me go. She has the power to go where no one else can find me. Yes, and a silently remind me of the happiness and the good times that I know. Well, I think I just got to go then. It isn't what she got to say, but how she thinks and where she's been. To me, the words are nice the way they sound. I like it and best that way. It doesn't much matter what they mean. She said that mostly just to calm me down. And I feel fine anytime she's around me now. She's around me now. Almost all the time. And if I'm well, you can tell she's been with me now. She's been with me now. Quite a long, long time. Yes, and I feel fine.
Yay! You guys like that? Where's there?
Daddy.
Thank you. You want to sing another song?
I'm okay.
Fire and Rain.
That's it.
Thank you, guys. Stevie, thank you, Miller, for sending the roses. We really appreciate all of you for joining us tonight and supporting DeeJay Stevie. Of course, this is his channel, and please follow him. Thank you, each and all, everybody, really.
Thank you. Yeah. So Stevie is on, what is it, Wednesdays? So tomorrow he'll be on live?
He's going to be live singing.
Tomorrow.
We'll try, yeah, so you guys too. Thank you. And the entire month is April, Autism Acceptance Month, so we'll post different things. So Stevie will share. So
and please check out, please request any music videos that you want us to react to.
Thank you, Miss Bentley. We really appreciate that.
Mm.
Mimi, thank you for the roses, and Ada, everybody tonight. Bole, thank you for asking all those good questions. Please join us. Join DeeJay Stevie. He's always singing, always sharing music, and it's all about right. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. Yeah, every year we celebrate this day. With our families. Even in Ethiopia, they celebrate it today, which is really fantastic. They send us pictures, so it's a special day for us and for every family. They know the challenges and the struggle with, but we want to make sure that these kids are recognized, right? We're in Toronto, Miss Bentley. We're Ontario. Where are you? Where do you live? Yeah, so hi T. You're in Toronto as well. Toronto is cold at the moment.
Windy.
We're getting more snow. Manitoba. These
Okay.
guys, do you guys have still snow? I like to know. We're getting snow tomorrow. Oh God, I'm tired of the weather. So let's keep in touch, guys. Please advocate for our kids. Yeah, windy.
Right.
And definitely let's support one another.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
Happy Autism Acceptance Day.
Yes, I just want to answer this question. Yes, there is a Toronto Autism Support Group online on Facebook, but they're awesome. They're very good as well. They do Facebook. Say Facebook. I guess you get a lot of resources there.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Dayla, thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys. Have a nice
Ulit
guys.
sos tamasa ganalo.
Bye, guys. Take care. Great night. Wow. 128 diamonds Stevie got. What?
Uncle Larry's a nice man. He will help you if he can.
What? Oh my God.
Uncle Larry's a nice man. Something in the way Uncle Larry moves.
Stevie got a lot of supporters. Yeah? How do you think it did?
Yeah, it was good. I think people just want to hear our story. They don't. When next time, yeah, you don't have to print out all that stuff.
Yeah. So we didn't use that anyways. You're the one printed out.
Okay, so let's.
What do you think?
Yeah, went well. I gotta finish off, and then I gotta.
All right, we eat the lunch. All right, relax.
What do you think of the rack?
No, I'm talking about the thing.
Yeah, the thing. It went well.
I just want to see how much money you need.
Excuse me. Uncle Larry is with me now. Almost all the time. And Uncle Larry can't. I'm leaving the page. Yelem, I'm leaving the page.
Huh?
I'm leaving the page.
Leave. Oh, there. Oh my.